So for process writing also, there's a particular format that has to be followed. And since process writing is about how you make something, the step by step order, so it is very important that we maintain those steps. So that is something which one has to remember in process writing. It is very, very important that only like step two can only come after step one. And usually a child, while like the mistakes that I see in process writing is that something comes first, and the step previous to that comes later, and then they do some arrow making to show that this step has to come first and this step has to come next. So if that happens, then please ask your child, or please make sure that that answer is cut and it is rewritten in the correct way, because an examiner has to check so many answer sheets. So, and even an examiner does not have so much time to go through your mistakes. And so make the make checking your answer a very easy process for your teacher, so that one look and the teacher will know that yes, the process is right, and full marks. Okay, so that is the thing that one has to remember in process writing, that even if you miss a step, please, first of all, it is always better to think about the steps beforehand and then start writing. If need be, just use a pencil and very lightly write down the processes in very short way, in a very short manner, so that once you write it in, if you are writing your paper in pen, in ink, then once you write it, then you can just easily rub that pencil section, the pencil writing, you can rub it with an eraser. So that is one trick that I tell my that is one trick that I tell my students in case of process writing. Seeing that these kids can draw a good picture of a situation but cannot express it properly in the words. Okay, Piali, thanks for this comment. I will come to this in a while. That is exactly what our topic is about today. So I will definitely answer this one. Okay, so coming to the short answer questions, poster, notice, invitation. Now, again, these have, yeah, I was talking about the short answer questions. So basically, the short answer questions come with a format, a particular format, which the teachers, again, I would say that please go with the format that your teacher has shared. If your teacher has not shared anything, like sometimes I hear students, they say that we are not given any format. What do we do then? Then it is best to consult a good grammar book, or you can also consult me. I can help you with that. So for that, you can either send me a message on Facebook, or you can mail me. You can mail me on my email ID, on the Crayonsler email ID, which is crayonsler.edu@gmail.com, and I will surely help you out with the formats, or with everything, every kind of query that you have. So yeah, so poster writing, notice writing, invitation, they come with a certain format. And also sometimes there can be questions like declining an invitation and accepting an invitation. Even they come with they don't have a particular format as such, but then they do have some lines that you have to memorize, like I am sorry to decline your invitation, or I'll be very happy to accept your invitation. These are some of the words, some of the lines that you have to memorize in order to answer those questions. All right, so that was about what all we have in the composition section. Now moving on to the next thing, how to deal with the composition section, how to write composition section. Okay, so the first thing that you have to remember, that I already discussed, is the format. The format is the most important part of any question of a of the composition section. Okay, the next thing that you have to remember, something that I see a lot of my students doing some mistakes, which is that while writing a question, sometimes they forget that there is a name given in that question. So what do they do? Instead, they end up writing their own name. So for example, if they're writing a letter to the editor and the question says that you are Madhav or Madhvi, who is writing a letter to the editor of so and so journal. So what happens is the student ends up writing his or her name and forgets about Madhav and Madhvi. So that is something very important that a student has to, take care. Uh, so that is something very important, one must remember the name that is given in the question and has to write that only. And the second thing that is very important is the address part is very important. Sometimes, we forget writing the address, or we write some address which we have learned while memorizing the format, and we forget to see that the question itself has an address maybe. So it is very important to see whether your question has any address, has any particular name of the journal or the magazine, or the institute to where you are writing the letter to. So it is very important to take note of that, and also it is very important to remember to write that. So if you forget doing that, then that will simply deduct your marks. If you forget, if you write something else instead of what is given in the question, so then that will fetch negative marking, and we don't want that. The next thing is the name of the journal. So let's say name of the journal could be name of the newspaper, name of a magazine, name of any online zine. So it is very important that one must, it is very important that you remember what was the name of the journal if it is given in a question, if it is given in the question. So it is very important that you stick to that. So I mean, yeah, you might say that what is there to say about it? Why are we even talking about it? Isn't it so obvious? Yes, it is very obvious, I know. And why I'm saying this is because I have seen many students make this mistake. So it is very important that you tell your child that, listen, if you're going, when you're starting the composition section, please read the questions that are there, and please stick to the names and the address and the name of the journal or any details given in the question. So please stick to that. Okay, so the next thing that is very important is vocabulary. Yes, so vocabulary is something very important, in order to express yourself, in order to actually mean what you want to say. So, for example, if there's a question which says that write a letter to the editor saying that how your locality, there is lack of water in your locality, and how one should save water. So instead of this word save, if you keep writing save water, save water, save water, then what will happen? It will be so repetitive in nature that it will become a little boring. It is, you can say the same thing in different way, in other words. So instead of saying save water, you can say preserve is a word that you can use instead of save. So how will we know that we have to write this word, right? Because sometimes the questions are what we have already practiced. Sometimes they come by surprise, and what I have seen through all these years is that they do come with a surprise. Some questions come, they are surprise questions. So what do we do in that case? So that is the reason a child must have a fairly good vocabulary. And how you can develop vocabulary, that I will cover in another video or in another live session, how to develop vocabulary, because that's a very huge topic. So vocabulary is something very important that you must use, and that way not only will you make your write-up more interesting, but also sometimes you can actually express yourself better if you have the power of the right words. So that is something, that is like a good ammunition for your child. Opening lines. The next thing that I want to discuss is the opening lines. So uh, for short stories, for narrative descriptions, for essays, uh, you can always, there is some room for improvement. There is some room for having your own way. But for formal letters, and for mainly for formal letters, and for articles and for reports, there has to be a particular opening line. Sometimes there are particular opening lines that a student must memorize. For example, let's say if there's a letter to the editor, if there's an advertisement of a job or any kind of advertisement in any newspaper, and you want to apply for it. Let's say there's a job advertisement in any newspaper, and you want to write a letter where you want to apply for that job. So it is very important that you start with your first line should be, this is in reference to the advertisement published in your newspaper. So these lines are very important, to in your formal letter. Similarly, for report writing, for article writing, one must remember the 5 W's and 1 H, which is what, when, where, who, how, why. These 5 W's and 1 H, one must, start with these. Any article, any report writing, one must start by answering these questions. I don't mean that you start with writing what, why, when, where, who, how. Don't write them. Just answer these questions in the very first few lines of your article or report writing. So that is what I want to tell by opening lines. So the opening lines must be memorized in some cases, like article writing, report writing, in formal letters. I will give you another example of formal letter. Um, let's say you want to create some sort of awareness through some journal, some newspaper. Let's say you want to create awareness on saving water or saving the trees or environment or pollution or any of those topics, or any topic where you want to create any kind of awareness. Then the opening line should be, through your esteemed columns, through the columns of your esteemed journal, of your esteemed newspaper, name of the newspaper. Then I would like to make the people of this city aware of the kind of pollution levels, the increase in pollution levels, blah blah blah. So that is what I want to tell you, that the opening line should be, something like this. So sometimes your teacher will give you the opening lines, so please stick to them. If you're not given any kind of opening lines, then of course you can find them in some websites where they talk about letter writing. You can see my blogs also, where I have sample letters that you can look at, and you can get a feel of how exactly you want to start the body of your letter. So the opening lines are something that you have to take care of when you start writing the body of your letter, or when you start writing any article or report. The next thing that you have to keep in mind is consistency. What do I mean by consistency? So consistency is I've seen a lot of students making this mistake, that let's say they have a male character in their story, or a male character in some writing, some sort of a composition. But then they, towards the middle or towards the end, he becomes she. So that is something, that will be a very big grammatical mistake, and also it will confuse the reader. So it is very important to maintain consistency there. So if it's a male character, throughout the write up, for every time you're talking about that character, you have to write he. For every time you're talking about a female character, you have to write she. Of course, if you're taking their names, that is different thing. But whenever you're writing he or she, whenever you're replacing the proper noun with a pronoun, then please maintain consistency. If it's a male character, please write he. If it's a female character, please write she. This is something very, very important. I see a lot of students getting negative marks for this. This is like a silly mistake that I used to do in maths when I was in school. So please don't do this silly mistake. Please, how will you get over this habit? Practice. So it is very important that you practice writing long answers, compositions of different kinds. So the more you write, the more you will develop a habit of being consistent. Another thing that I have noticed in consistency, and this is even more popular, even more common, I would say this is even more common mistake, which is change of tense. So if the short story or the narration started in past tense, somehow it ends up in present tense, and then goes to future tense, and again from future tense again goes to past tense. Now if the story is such that it is set in past throughout, then we have to maintain the same tense. But the story is such that there is some flashback, and then we come back to present times, that is still okay. But if it is not the case, then we have to be very careful about the tense of the write up. Like the tense has to be maintained properly throughout the narrative, or throughout the story, or throughout the essay. So that is something, that is also something that comes, under consistency. Then grammatical accuracy. It is very important that your write up is grammatically correct. The Why it is important?